Tina dares, dares to go to the uncomfortable story and dares to gives freedom of voice to the uncomfortable story. And this is something that the media desperately needs to. I mean, we always like working on this, like this is the study story, this is the safe story. She actually dares going to the edge and says, well, you need to hear this as well.
I love the flirting with danger journalistically. I mean, I find that's where the interesting stories are, the third rail story that other people don't want to do because it'll lead you into some kind of a fray, something that's controversial, something that's, not right for that region, or, that's where I want to go, because I feel that there's so much hiding, and there's so much fear of offending business people or offending politicians or offending establishment, or just not, actually offending very often the blogosphere, where you can take on an angle that is very un-PC sometimes. That's where I want to go, because I think that's where the truth lies.
Tina, it's hard to imagine it now, but this was pre-internet, so the fax was Tina's instrument du jour. And I was not living in a terribly large apartment, and in the other room, the fax would go on at 2:30 in the morning, because Tina was up. She's sending faxes to art editors, to writers, to this one and to that one. Occasionally she'd send it to the wrong place. The Italian consulate, I think, got a brutal fax intended for Bill Buford, tearing his head off about something, and the next day, Brenda Phipps, Tina's assistant and still mine, would get a curious call from the Italian consulate, what is this, cursing mommy fax for Bill Buford. But I would get these great faxes at 3 o'clock in the morning, just read this piece, really wonderful, but needs this, that, and the other thing. And my wife would who was a light sleeper, would carry it into the bedroom and say, your girlfriend has called again. You've got another love letter.
But it's so important to morale. I mean, writers are, I know myself when I'm writing, I'm an absolute limp wreck until I get that call saying I loved it, I didn't like it. And it really blows my mind sometimes that people will make a writer wait for 3, 4, 5 days a week. I mean, I don't know how they can do that to a writer. It's so cruel. Writers want feedback, and the way to get great work out of them is to respond.
Usually women's issues is seen in a very sad NGO kind of victim kind of perspective. And what she did is present an issue. These are hard issues, these are current issues, these are important political issues, these are economic issues, and we have to pay attention.
Well, I always saw women in the world as foreign affairs through the eyes of women, journalism through the eyes of women. Because when you read about Syria, when you read about Iraq, when you read about what's happening in India or whatever, you really don't hear about it from the perspective of women who are on the ground there. And these women are often on the front lines. They're usually on the front lines because they're trying to support their families. They don't have, the sort of establishment positions very often. They're always working as insurgents, in a sense. So to me, telling the stories of the world through insurgent women is what turned me on. I feel I'm still at the beginning, of a journey. I always feel that. I never feel my journey is over. I'm currently doing these live convenings. I passionately believe that Women in the World is a kind of a global movement, really, as well as a live media company. And who knows where it will go to. But, I could easily take another turn. It happens.